Hey guys, welcome back to Forceful Anime. If you love intense anime stories, dark twists, and powerful what if fanfics, then you are in the right place. On this channel, we bring you epic Naruto fanfics, alternate timelines, and stories that will completely change how you see your favorite characters. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now, sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's story. Video title: A Rainy Day, A Broken Heart. Naruto or Kurenai emotional story. The sky over the Hidden Leaf village was gray. Not the soft, peaceful gray of a calm winter morning, but a heavy, suffocating gray that pressed down on everything beneath it. The kind of sky that felt like it was holding back tears. And maybe it was. Because today was January 4th, a date that meant nothing to most. But to Kurenai Yuhi, it was everything. For nearly 20 years, Kurenai had carried a reputation. The ice queen of the leaf. Cold, distant, untouchable. People admired her beauty, feared her silence, and misunderstood her completely. What they didn't know was that it had all been a mask. Once, if you looked closely enough, you could see warmth in her crimson eyes. A softness hidden behind the calm, controlled exterior. But that was before the war, before loss, before everything inside her shattered. 4 years ago, she lost Asuma. Not just a lover, not just a partner. He was her future, her peace, her home. And when he died, something inside her died with him. And as if that wasn't enough, she lost their child too. A miscarriage during the chaos of Pain's attack. A life that never even got a chance to begin. War came after that. The fourth great ninja war. Blood, death, endless nights on the battlefield. By the time it ended, Kurenai wasn't the same person anymore. She didn't cry much anymore. Didn't laugh. Didn't feel anger the way she used to. Everything was dull, muted, like her emotions were wrapped in fog. Except for one day each year. Today, Kurenai walked slowly through the village, a bouquet of fresh flowers in her hand. She had just left the Yamanaka flower shop. Ino hadn't said much. She didn't need to. Just a soft smile, and a quiet hug. That was enough. The cold air bit at Kurenai's skin as she approached the cemetery. She wasn't dressed for the weather. Just her usual shinobi outfit. No coat, no protection from the rain. But she didn't care. Maybe she wanted to feel the cold. Maybe she deserved it. The wind picked up. A faint scent of rain filled the air. A storm was coming. Fitting, she whispered under her breath. She stepped through the iron gates of the cemetery. Each step felt heavier than the last. Like her body knew what was coming, and didn't want to face it. Then she saw it. Asuma's grave. She stopped. Just stood there for a moment. Frozen. Then slowly, she dropped to her knees. Placed the flowers gently at the base of the stone. Her fingers trembled as they reached out, touching his name carved into the marble. Asuma Sarutobi. Her breath hitched. And then, the first tear fell. At the same moment, rain began to fall from the sky. At first, it was light, soft, barely noticeable. But it didn't stay that way. Kurenai's tears came faster. Her vision blurred. Her chest tightened. Why? She whispered. Her voice was fragile, broken. Why did you leave me? The rain grew heavier, drumming against the ground, soaking her hair, her clothes. her skin. But she didn't move, didn't try to cover herself. She just stayed there. Her shoulders began to shake. Her breathing became uneven. Her hands pressed into the wet ground as if trying to hold herself together. But she couldn't. Not today. I'm still here, she choked out. I'm still waiting. And then, she broke. The quiet tears turned into sobs. Deep, painful, uncontrollable. Her body trembled as grief finally forced its way out. Years of silence, years of holding it in, all crashing down at once. I miss you so much. The storm above mirrored her completely now. Thunder rumbled, rain poured relentlessly, and Kuranai collapsed forward, her hands barely holding her up as she cried into the ground. Not far from the cemetery, a certain blonde shinobi was walking through the rain. Naruto Uzumaki, now 20 years old, stronger than ever, respected, admired, almost hawkish. He had just returned from a long mission. All he wanted was a hot bowl of ramen. Something simple, something normal. But as he passed by the cemetery, he heard something. Voices. Men talking. Laughing. I wouldn't mind getting a piece of that. Damn. She's hot. Yeah, even crying like that. Naruto stopped. His expression darkened. He followed their line of sight. And then he saw her. Kuranai. Soaked in the rain. On her knees. Crying like her world had ended all over again. Naruto didn't even hesitate. He walked straight past the men. Didn't say a word. Didn't acknowledge them. Because right now, they didn't matter. Only she did. He stepped into the cemetery. Rain hitting his cloak, but not affecting him thanks to the seals woven into it. Slowly, carefully, he approached her. He didn't speak, didn't interrupt. He just stood behind her for a moment, watching, understanding. Then quietly, he removed his cloak and draped it over her shoulders. Kuranai flinched slightly. Her eyes slowly lifted. And there he was, Naruto, standing in front of her. His blue eyes filled with something she hadn't seen in a long time. Not pity, not curiosity, understanding. And that's when something inside her cracked even more. Her lips trembled, her vision blurred again, and before she could stop herself, she leaned forward, grabbing onto him. Her hands clenched his vest tightly, like he was the only thing keeping her from falling apart completely. I can't, she sobbed. I can't do this anymore. Naruto didn't ask questions, didn't hesitate. He just wrapped his arms around her, one hand gently cradling the back of her head, the other moving slowly along her back. It's okay, he said softly. I've got you. And that was it. That was all she needed. Because for the first time in years, Kuranai Yuhi didn't feel alone. She cried harder than she ever had before. Not holding anything back, not pretending, not hiding. And Naruto stayed, didn't move, didn't rush her. I'm here, he murmured. As long as you need. The rain poured, the thunder roared, but in that moment, none of it mattered, because under that storm, a broken heart had finally found someone willing to hold it together. The rain didn't stop. If anything, it grew heavier, like the sky itself refused to hold back any longer. But Naruto didn't move, and neither did Kuranai. She clung to him, tightly, like if she let go, she might fall apart again. Her sobs came in waves now, slower than before, but deeper. Raw, exhausted, Naruto just held her, one hand resting gently against the back of her head, the other moving in slow, steady motions along her back, grounding her, keeping her here. It's okay, he murmured again, his voice calm and warm despite the cold storm around them. You don't have to hold it in anymore. Those words hit her harder than anything else. Because for years, that's exactly what she had done. Held it in. Every tear, every scream, every broken piece of her heart. Her grip tightened slightly. I didn't, she started, her voice shaky, barely audible over the rain. I didn't even cry like this when he died. Naruto didn't interrupt. He didn't try to fix it. He just listened. I had to stay strong, she continued, her forehead pressing into his chest. For everyone, for the team, for the village. A bitter, broken laugh escaped her. But I think, I just forgot how to feel after that. Naruto's expression softened. He understood that more than most. Kurenai slowly pulled back. Not completely, just enough to look at him. Her eyes were swollen, red, still glistening with tears. But for the first time, there was something real in them. Not emptiness, not numbness, pain, honest, unfiltered pain. I lost him, she whispered. Her voice cracked again. And then I lost our child too. Naruto felt his chest tighten. He knew about Asuma. Everyone did. But this part, she never talked about. I never even got to meet them, she continued. Her hands trembled slightly. I never got to hear their voice or see their face. Her breathing became uneven again. I was supposed to protect them, both of them. Naruto gently placed his hand over hers, stopping that spiral before it pulled her under again. That's not your fault. She froze. For a moment, the rain was the only sound between them. It feels like it is, she admitted quietly. Naruto shook his head. His voice was firm now, not loud, but steady. No, Kurenai looked at him again. Something in his tone made her pause. You were fighting for the village, Naruto continued. You were doing your job. Protecting people. That's what shinobi do. His grip on her hand tightened just slightly. You didn't choose to lose them. Her lips parted slightly, like she wanted to argue. Like she had been arguing with herself for years. But no words came out. Because deep down, a part of her knew he was right. I should have been there, she whispered weakly. Naruto didn't let go. Even if you were, you can't control everything. That hit something inside her. Because that was the truth she had been running from. For years, she had blamed herself. Because it was easier than accepting that some things were simply out of her control. Her shoulders slumped slightly. The fight, the resistance, slowly fading. I hate this day, she admitted after a long silence. But at the same time, she looked down at their hands. It's the only day I actually feel anything anymore. Naruto didn't respond right away. He understood that feeling too well. That numbness. That emptiness. I get that, he said quietly. Kurenai blinked. Surprise. You do. Naruto let out a small breath. A faint, almost tired smile forming on his face. There was a time when I didn't feel anything either, he said. Not the same way you do, but close enough. He looked up at the gray sky. Rain still falling steadily. When you grow up alone, you learn how to shut things off, he continued. Because feeling too much hurts. Kurenai watched him closely now. Really watched him. For years, she had only seen Naruto as loud, energetic, impossible to ignore. But this version of him, quiet, steady, understanding, this was new. But eventually, Naruto added, his voice softer now. You realize that shutting everything out doesn't protect you. He looked back at her, eyes calm, but filled with something deeper. It just makes you feel empty. Kurenai felt that, deeply. That's exactly how it feels, she admitted. For a moment, they just stood there, rain falling around them, silence but not uncomfortable. Just shared understanding. Naruto glanced at her for a second, then spoke again. You don't have to go through this alone, you know. Kurenai stiffened slightly. That idea felt unfamiliar. I'm used to it, she said quietly. Naruto gave a small shake of his head. Doesn't mean you should be. That simple sentence hit harder than anything else. Because she didn't have an answer for it. For the first time in years, someone wasn't just respecting her distance or avoiding her. Someone was actually reaching out. The rain began to slow slightly. The storm calming down. Kurenai took a slow breath. Then another. Thank you, she said softly. Naruto smiled. Not wide, not loud, just warm. You don't have to thank me. She hesitated for a moment. Then asked, will you stay a little longer? Naruto didn't even think about it. Yeah, he said simply. And for the first time in a long, long while, Kurenai didn't feel like she had to face this day alone. The storm hadn't passed yet. Not outside, not inside her, but now, she wasn't standing in it by herself anymore. The rain had softened. What was once a violent storm had turned into a quiet drizzle, like the sky itself was finally calming down. Kurenai stood there beside Naruto, his cloak still wrapped around her shoulders, warmth slowly spreading through her body. But it wasn't just the cloak. It was him. For a while, neither of them spoke. They didn't need to. The silence between them wasn't empty, it was understood. Kurenai finally took a slow breath. Her heartbeat had steadied. Her tears had stopped. But the heaviness in her chest was still there. Just not as suffocating as before. You said, she began softly, her voice still slightly hoarse. That you understand. Naruto glanced at her, then looked ahead again. I do. She studied him carefully. This wasn't the loud, reckless Naruto everyone knew. This was someone else. Someone deeper. How? She asked. Naruto exhaled slowly. For a moment, it looked like he was debating whether to answer. Then, I grew up alone. Kurenai's eyes softened slightly. No family. No one waiting for me at home. No one asking if I was okay. His tone wasn't bitter. Just honest. People looked at me like I was something they didn't want to deal with, he continued. Some ignored me. Some hated me. Most just pretended I didn't exist. Kurenai's fingers tightened slightly around the edge of his cloak. I used to act loud and stupid, Naruto added with a faint smirk. Pull pranks. Cause trouble. He shrugged lightly. Not because I thought it was funny, but because it was the only way people would notice me. Kurenai felt something shift inside her. She had known Naruto, worked in the same village, seen him grow, but she had never really understood him. That must have been hard, she said quietly. Naruto let out a small breath. Yeah, there was no hesitation in his answer. No pretending. But the worst part wasn't the loneliness, he continued. It was realizing that even when things changed, he paused. People didn't really change. Kurenai looked at him again. What do you mean? Naruto's expression hardened just slightly. When I got stronger, when I started winning battles, saving people. He let out a dry, humorless chuckle. Suddenly, everyone liked me. Kurenai's gaze didn't leave him. They smiled, cheered, called me a hero. His blue eyes flickered with something deeper now. But none of them ever said sorry. That sentence landed heavy. They acted like the past never happened, Naruto said. Like they had always believed in me. He shook his head slightly. And that's when I realized. He looked at her again. People see what they want to see. Kurenai felt that deeply because she had done the same thing with herself. She had hidden behind a mask for years. And when that mask became real, no one questioned it. So you just accepted it? She asked. Naruto thought for a moment. I accepted that the village is flawed, he said. But I didn't stop caring about it. He gave a small, genuine smile. Because even if the place isn't perfect, there are people in it who matter. Kurenai blinked slightly. And those people make it worth protecting. Silence settled between them again. But this time, it felt different. Kurenai looked down at her hands. Then slowly spoke. I stopped looking for those people. Naruto didn't interrupt. After Asuma died, she continued, her voice quieter now. Everyone gave me space. A faint, sad smile appeared on her lips. Too much space. Naruto understood immediately. They thought they were helping, she said. Giving me time, respecting my distance. Her fingers curled slightly. But no one ever tried to pull me back. That loneliness. That quiet isolation. Naruto knew it all too well. You got used to it, he said. Kurenai nodded slowly. Yes. Then after a pause, I think I started to believe that's what I deserved. Naruto's expression changed instantly. That's not true. His voice was firm, certain. Kurenai looked at him again, surprised by the intensity. You don't deserve to be alone, he continued. No one does. Something in his tone broke through another layer of the wall she had built around herself. For years, no one had said that to her. No one had challenged her silence. No one had cared enough to. Her eyes softened again. You're different, she said quietly. Naruto blinked. How so? Kurenai hesitated, searching for the right words. You don't look at me like I'm fragile, she said. Or broken. Naruto gave a small shrug. You're not. She let out a soft, almost disbelieving breath. I feel like I am. Naruto looked at her steadily. Feeling broken doesn't mean you are. That hit her harder than she expected. Because for the first time, someone wasn't trying to fix her. They were simply standing beside her. The drizzle slowed even more. Clouds beginning to thin. Kurenai glanced toward Asuma's grave one more time. The pain was still there. It always would be. But now, it didn't feel as heavy. He would have liked you, she said softly. Naruto smiled faintly. I would have liked him too. A small silence followed. But this one carried warmth. Kurenai took a slow breath. Then looked at Naruto again. Would you walk with me? Naruto nodded without hesitation. Of course. And as they began to walk away from the grave, something subtle had changed. The grief was still there. The loss hadn't disappeared. But for the first time in years, Kurenai knew he wasn't carrying it alone. And Naruto wasn't just passing by anymore. He had stepped into her world. And neither of them fully realized it yet. But this moment was the beginning of something neither of them expected. The rain had nearly stopped by the time they reached the cemetery gates. Only a faint drizzle remained, soft drops tapping against the ground like the last echoes of a storm that had finally run out of anger. Kurenai walked beside Naruto in silence, his cloak still wrapped around her. Warm, steady, safe. Neither of them rushed. There was no urgency in their steps. Just a quiet understanding that neither one was ready to go back to the world outside just yet. As they stepped out onto the empty street, a cold breeze brushed past them. Kurenai instinctively pulled the cloak a little tighter around herself. Naruto noticed but didn't say anything. He just adjusted his pace slightly, walking a bit closer. You were heading somewhere before this, right? Kurenai asked after a moment. Her voice was softer now. Calmer. Naruto scratched the back of his head lightly. Yeah, I was going to grab some ramen. A faint, almost invisible smile touched her lips. Of course you were. Naruto chuckled. Hey, after a month of border patrol, I earned it. For a brief second, it felt normal. Kurenai noticed that, and it surprised her. Do you still want to go? She asked. Naruto glanced at her, really looked at her. There was still sadness in her eyes. But it wasn't overwhelming anymore. He shook his head. Not right now. She blinked slightly. Why? Naruto gave a small shrug. Didn't feel right leaving you alone. That simple answer caught her off guard. She wasn't used to that. People choosing to stay. For a moment, she didn't respond. Then quietly, thank you. Naruto smiled, just a little. They walked a bit further down the street before Naruto spoke again. Hey, there's a place nearby. Kurenai glanced at him. Not crowded. Quiet. Good tea. A small pause. You wanna go? She hesitated. Not because she didn't want to, but because it had been a long time since she had said yes to something like this. Then slowly, she nodded. Okay. And just like that, they changed direction. A few minutes later, they arrived at a small, tucked away tea shop. It wasn't flashy, didn't stand out, but it was warm. Naruto opened the door and stepped aside, letting Kurenai enter first. She paused slightly at the gesture, then walked in. The soft chime of the bell above the door echoed gently through the quiet space. Inside, the atmosphere was calm. Dim lighting, warm air, the faint scent of herbs and tea leaves. It felt peaceful. Kurenai didn't realize how much she needed that until now. They took a seat near the window. Raindrops still sliding slowly down the glass outside. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Naruto raised his hand slightly. 2 teas, he said casually to the owner. Kurenai glanced at him. You didn't even ask what I wanted. Naruto smirked lightly. Trust me. She raised an eyebrow, but didn't argue. A few minutes later, the tea arrived. Kurenai wrapped her hands around the cup, feeling the warmth seep into her fingers. This is nice, she admitted quietly. Naruto leaned back slightly. Yeah, I come here when I want to think. She looked at him again. You think a lot. Naruto let out a small breath. More than people expect. That didn't surprise her anymore. Not after today. They sat in silence again for a while. But this time, it wasn't heavy. Just calm. Kurenai took a sip of her tea. Then another. I don't usually talk like this, she said after a moment. Naruto glanced at her. I figured. A faint smile touched her lips. Then why did you stay? Naruto didn't answer immediately. He looked out the window, watching the last drops of rain fade away. Because I know what it's like, he said finally. To feel like no one's really there. He looked back at her. And I didn't want you to feel that today. Kurenai's chest tightened slightly, not painfully, but warm, something she hadn't felt in a long time. You didn't have to, she said softly. Naruto shrugged. I wanted to. That answer meant more than she expected. She looked down at her tea again. It's strange, she admitted. Naruto tilted his head slightly. What is? She hesitated, then said, I don't feel as heavy as I usually do today. Naruto smiled faintly. That's a good thing. She nodded slowly. Yeah. A small silence followed. Then she added, I think it's because I didn't go through it alone this time. Naruto didn't say anything, but his expression softened, because he understood exactly what she meant. Outside, the clouds began to part slightly, a faint light breaking through. Inside, something else was changing too. Not something loud, not something obvious, but something real. Kurenai looked at Naruto again. This time, differently. Not just as the village's hero, not just as a powerful shinobi, but as someone who understood her, and maybe someone she could trust. Naruto, she said quietly. Yeah, she paused for just a second. Will you stay a little longer? Naruto smiled. Yeah, and this time, there was no hesitation at all because neither of them realized it yet. But this quiet moment, this simple cup of tea, was the beginning of something that would change both of them. The tea had gone lukewarm. Neither of them noticed. The shop was quiet, almost too quiet, but not in a lonely way. It felt safe, like time had slowed down just enough for them to breathe. Kurenai sat with both hands wrapped around her cup, staring into the faint ripples on the surface. Her reflection looked calmer now. Still tired, still carrying weight, but not drowning in it anymore. Naruto leaned back slightly in his chair, one arm resting against the table. He wasn't staring at her, wasn't studying her. He was just there, present. And somehow, that meant more than anything else. Can I ask you something? Kurenai said quietly. Naruto glanced at her. Yeah, anything. She hesitated. Just for a second. Why me? Naruto blinked. What do you mean? Kurenai looked up at him now, her eyes steady. You could have kept walking, she said. You didn't have to stop. You didn't have to get involved. A pause. So why did you? Naruto didn't answer right away. He looked down at his hands, then back at her. Because I know what it looks like, he said. Her brows furrowed slightly. What looks like? Naruto's expression softened. When someone is trying not to fall apart, but they already have. Silence. Kurenai's breath caught slightly, because that was exactly what had happened. He saw it, without her saying a word. I've seen that look before, Naruto continued. In the mirror, that hit deeper than she expected. He wasn't just comforting her. He was relating to her. I spent a lot of years pretending I was okay, he added quietly. Even when I wasn't. Kurenai lowered her gaze again. I think I've been doing that for too long. Naruto gave a small nod. Yeah, no judgment, no pressure, just agreement. A long silence followed. Then, Kurenai spoke again. I used to imagine a future, she said softly. Naruto stayed quiet, listening. A home, a family, a faint, fragile smile touched her lips. Asuma would complain about small things. I'd pretend to be annoyed. Her voice softened even more. But I was happy. Naruto felt something tighten in his chest. Now, she continued, I don't picture anything anymore. That emptiness, that loss of direction. Naruto understood it all too well. You can again, he said. Kurenai shook her head slightly. I don't know how. Naruto leaned forward just a bit. You don't have to figure it all out right now. She looked at him. Just start small. Small. Naruto nodded. Yeah. A faint smile appeared. Like getting through today. Kurenai blinked. Then, slowly, she smiled too. Not forced. Not fake. Real. I think I did that, she said quietly. Naruto smiled back. Yeah. You did. Another quiet moment passed. Then Naruto spoke again. Can I tell you something? Kurenai nodded. Of course. Naruto hesitated, which was rare for him. There are things I don't tell people, he said. Her expression softened. Like what? Naruto looked out the window for a second. Then back at her. Sometimes, I still feel like that kid. Kurenai didn't interrupt. The one nobody wanted around, he added. Her eyes widened slightly. But everyone sees the hero now, he continued. They don't see the rest of it. A small pause. And I don't show it. Kurenai felt something shift again. Because that was vulnerability. Why are you telling me this? She asked softly. Naruto gave a small, honest shrug. Because you didn't look at me like a hero today. Her breath caught slightly. You just saw me. Silence filled the space between them. But this time, it wasn't just understanding, it was connection. Something deeper. Kurenai looked at him differently now. Not just someone who helped her. Not just someone who understood. But someone who trusted her. And that meant everything. Naruto, she said quietly. Yeah, she hesitated. Then, I'm glad you stopped today. Naruto smiled. Me too. Outside, the rain had completely stopped. The sky was beginning to clear. Soft light breaking through the clouds. A new kind of calm settling in. Inside the tea shop, something had changed. The pain wasn't gone. The past wasn't erased. But something new had formed in its place. A connection. A quiet bond. And neither of them said it out loud. But both of them felt it. This wasn't just a random moment. This mattered. The sky had cleared. Not completely, there were still traces of gray lingering above the hidden leaf, but sunlight had finally begun to break through. Soft, gentle, like the world was slowly exhaling after holding its breath for too long. Inside the tea shop, the light filtered through the window and fell across the table where Naruto and Kurenai sat. The storm was over, at least. The one outside. Kurenai looked at her empty cup. She didn't remember finishing it. But she did. Somewhere between the silence, the words, and everything they didn't say. I should go, she said quietly. Naruto nodded. Yeah, me too. But neither of them moved right away. Because something had shifted. And walking away now felt different. Kurenai slowly stood up, adjusting the cloak around her shoulders. It was still warm, still carrying that steady, comforting presence she had felt since he placed it on her. She looked at him. For a moment. Just looked. Not at the hero. Not at the future Hokage. But at Naruto. Thank you. She said softly. Naruto smiled. Not big. Not loud. Just real. You don't have to keep saying that. Kurenai shook her head slightly. I do. A small pause. Because today would have been different if you didn't stop. Naruto didn't respond right away. Because he knew she was right. And so was he. They stepped outside together. The air was still cold, but no longer harsh. The village felt quieter now. Calmer. Kurenai took a slow breath. For the first time in years, January 4th didn't feel unbearable. It still hurt. It always would. But it didn't feel like it was crushing her anymore. I think, she began slowly. This is the first time I didn't feel completely alone today. Naruto glanced at her. I'm glad. She hesitated. Then added, I don't want to go back to that. Naruto understood immediately. That loneliness. That isolation. He gave a small nod. Then don't. She looked at him. It's not that simple. Naruto smiled faintly. It kind of is. Kurenai raised an eyebrow slightly. How? Naruto shrugged. You just don't shut people out. A pause. At least not the ones who actually care. That hit deeper than anything else he had said. Because for years, she had shut everyone out. Not because she wanted to hurt them, but because she didn't want to feel anything. I don't know if I'm good at that anymore, she admitted. Naruto looked at her. Steady. You don't have to be. Then what do I do? A small silence. Then, try. That was it. No long explanation. No complicated answer. Just one word. Try. Kurenai let out a slow breath. Okay. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't confident. But it was honest. And that was enough. A quiet moment passed between them. Then Naruto spoke again. Hey. She looked at him. Next year. She blinked slightly. What about it? Naruto rubbed the back of his neck lightly. You don't have to do this alone again. Silence. Kurenai's eyes widened just a little. Because that wasn't just a kind offer. That was a promise. You'd really do that? She asked softly. Naruto smiled. Yeah, no hesitation, no doubt, just certainty. Something warm spread through her chest. Not overwhelming, not sudden, but real. Then, she said quietly, I'll hold you to that. Naruto chuckled lightly. Good. Another pause. But this one felt different, like neither of them wanted to end the moment just yet. Kurenai looked down at the cloak around her shoulders. Then back at him. I should probably give this back. Naruto shook his head. Keep it. She blinked. What? Naruto shrugged. You might need it more than I do. She hesitated. Are you sure? Naruto smiled. Yeah. A small silence followed. Then Kurenai nodded slowly. Thank you. But this time, it wasn't just for the cloak. It was for everything. They stood there for a moment longer. Then finally, Naruto stepped back. I'll see you around. Kurenai watched him for a second. Naruto. He turned slightly. Yeah. She hesitated. Just for a moment. Then, I'm glad it was you. Naruto's expression softened. Me too. And with that, he turned and walked away. Kurenai stood there, watching him go. The wind moved gently through the village. The last traces of rain disappearing. She pulled the cloak closer around herself. Warm, steady, and for the first time in a long, long time, She didn't feel empty. The pain was still there. The memories still hurt. But now, there was something else. Something new. Hope. Kurenai turned slightly, glancing back toward the cemetery in the distance. I'll be okay, she whispered softly. Not perfectly, not all at once, but slowly, step by step, and as the sunlight broke fully through the clouds. For the first time in years, January 4th no longer felt like the end of something, but the beginning. And just like that, the rain came to an end. But for Kuranai, it wasn't just the storm in the sky that faded. It was the storm inside her heart. For years, she carried pain in silence, hiding behind strength, pretending she was unbreakable. But even the strongest hearts need someone to hold them together. And on this day, Naruto didn't fight an enemy. He didn't save the world. He simply stayed. And sometimes, that's the greatest strength of all. Because healing doesn't happen in one moment, but it begins when you're no longer alone. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more emotional anime stories, and comment below what moment did you feel the most. And if you want to experience more stories like this, click the video on your screen right now. Because some stories aren't just watched, they stay with you.